Out there that's a rookie that you just want to see get out there next year?
I just really want to see all of them, to be honest with you. We've been practicing for, I think this is practice 11. So it's going to be nice to go out there against somebody else, play live football, and see what a lot of these young guys are about. See where they're at. I don't think we can make any final conclusions off of one game, but it's a great feedback for us and them.
You kind of talked yesterday about putting them in a tough spot once in a while.
Yeah.
Do you do that just to see how they react if they don't?
No, just to see who can handle it. For instance, if I'm pretty confident they might be throwing it, instead of maybe giving a corner some help, I'm see if he can cover his guy. Play a light box even though we think they might be running it. See if we can handle the run in a light box. Things like that.
How important is the final score to you?
As we stand here today, it's not that important, but invariably, when we get on that sideline Thursday night, it's like playing a game of horse in the backyard. You still want to win. So we want to win, but we know there's bigger fish to fry in the game, meaning we got to get evaluations of these guys to help us pick the best 53 for the team.
Did you tell Rich Gangrella to do the same on his side, put his players in uncomfortable positions?
Yeah. Let's see who can block a good pass rusher without chipping them. Even though they got the box loaded, let's see if we can run the ball up in there. Things like that.
What do you look forward to, but anticipate the challenge of being coaching from the sideline? What do you want to kind of see for yourself when you kind of live it? I know it's preseason.
Well, no, it's good. Experiment with where the best place for me to stand is when we're on defense. I'm going to try and get an end zone view of it. I won't be on the line of scrimmage starting off. I'm going to try and be back a little ways one way or the other, so at least I got somewhat of a wider view. So see how that works.
How about your culture?
That's going to be a lot smaller, especially these first couple games. But I'm used to having a big thing in front of me, and I may have to go to a double side or something, but it's a work in progress.
How much competition is there at left tackle for the starting job?
Well, right now, Garrett's the starter. He's the incumbent, and somebody's got to knock him out, kind of like a heavyweight championship. And so far, he's had a great camp. So if we were to play today against Oakland, he'd be the starter, hands down. Unanimous decision.
Isaac's got a chance to get a lot of reps here last couple of days at corner. What kind of camp is he on?
He's been doing good. Ever since they, took the caution away from him with the shoulder, I like the way he's progressing. He's a very conscientious player, wants to do well for himself, for the coaches, for the team. We really enjoy coaching him, and be good for him to get action.
We know that Kevin Hogan is going to start. Do you have a plan for how you're going to divvy up your quarterback reps, or do you go by feel?
Some of it's by feel and the way the game's going. I always tell the coaches, or even when I was divvying up the reps, count on 65 plays. One side if one side's doing real well, you might only get 50, and the other side might get 80. So you kind of have to adjust as you go. But we have an order, and if you're on the side that only gets the 50, then some guys will get cheated. If you're on the side that gets 80, you're going to get more than you thought you would get.
A few months ago, you said you were going to test out where Donatello was going to be.
Yeah, he'll be on the sideline right now.
Nick Williams, what have you seen from him? He's only been here for a few days, but it seems like he's got a rapport with Joe already, and he's out there making plays every single day. You
kind of got a little love for him, don't you? He kind of reminds you of yourself. Yeah. He's done well. He's quick. He's elusive. He's smart. He's been in this system, similar system before, so the learning curve hadn't been as steep. I think he's done well. Be interesting to see how he does when he gets in there. So, yeah, he's not, when you get a guy in camp at this stage, you think you're just bringing him in to fill up the roster and take some reps, but he's already proven he's above that, so he's in the hunt.
How big of a challenge has it been for Zach Azadi in this camp, bringing in a lot of new guys?
It's been a challenge. But, that's part of NFL football. One of the biggest difference coaching NFL versus college is when you bring a guy in off the street who's starting from ground zero and you're in practice 10 of training camp, not counting the 14 you did in OTAs, you got to catch a guy up quick, whereas in college, everybody's on campus at the same time, and at least those guys have been there. So it is harder. And, when we do get a new guy, I allow those guys to go out there and coach them up a little bit out of the huddle and stuff just to help get them through.
This is going to be the first time Rich Gangarello is going to be calling plays at the NFL level on Thursday. Are you going to be watching and evaluating him as a play caller? Not the same, but similar to the way that you're watching one of your players?
No, I'm going to be more interested in the operation, how the plays are going in. Do we have a flow? Are we make sure we're not up against the play clock too many times? And I'll be helping him with that. So more so the operation than the exact plays being called.
When you do that Hall of Fame tour, is there something that sticks out for you? I think did you do it last year?
We did.
Is there something about the Hall that you like to see or looking forward to?
Yeah, I've been there a few times. I like to always kind of zero in on some areas. Maybe I'm sure Munch will be there charging a fee to take a picture with the guys with his bust. So, but it'll be good. And it'll be good. I'm going to try and get a picture with Mike standing next to his bust. That'll be cool.
Did you have a favorite player growing up? Is in the Hall?
Growing up in the Hall, I was a Eagles fan, and those were some down times. So I don't believe when I was a young guy, of those guys have ever made it. Dick Vermeil should be in the Hall of Fame. There's guys that have made it coaching-wise with less accomplishments than him. Not really the Eagles, but I was a Dick Butkus fan from afar. I was a Joe Namath fan from afar. So.
Did you say Bill Bergey with the Eagles?
Bill Bergey, yeah, but he didn't make the Hall of Fame. But yeah, they used to put a thing on the scoreboard when he made a tackle. He was burgerized. So.
Have you thought about, Coach, what Thursday's going to mean for you? Your first opportunity to be a head coach. I know it's a preseason game. Have you thought about that at all?
Not really, other than I hope I don't forget something that I need to do, from an organizational standpoint. I might, but I'm pretty good at not sweating the little stuff. So maybe. Yes and no, a little bit.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Okay.
Thanks, Vic. See you Thursday.